Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, o see them yopo.
Mema wakwaba e de ba PENDREAM TV so make sure say obe subscribe to channel no click bell so say the news to our sabe to me aka ntem no watie afa so make sure say obe like na wa comment no share ama afoforo so nsaka na comment section ho so no opese wo kire wa adwen obetimi e de wa adwen kire ato honom na amanfo so anya bia kenkan na onim say PENDREAM TV there eye nsem a ekoso Ghana yam politics mu ne de ba na yasaka ya ne de abranti na so me video I saka pese no che na ye de ba nti me mo modern astro so obehwe video we amana si awie na wa kire wa adwen e comment section na se yenko video.
Manche, we are in a country where our government does not care about the welfare and health of the people. You have the Minister of Health sitting here. Before me, white people have paid taxes. Their government have managed their taxes so well. They are taking care of their people. They've taken some of the money from their taxes to buy medicine for us under the Global Fund. And our Minister of Health is sitting here. 1 year, 12 months and over. The containers are stuck at the Temaport. We are unable to clear medicines that have been given to us for free. And now those medicines have run short in our hospitals. And the minister is more interested in wearing a Black Star jersey. Is he the minister for Black Stars or the minister for health? Randy, how can we sit here and you were in Geneva barely 2 weeks ago? You promised the Global Fund at the 77th World Health Assembly that as soon as you arrive Ghana, you were going to impress upon the president to clear those items. Tuberculosis medication is there, it's stuck, Randy, and he knows better than me and you because he's a medical doctor that you need to store medication at appropriate temperature.
Let me read this to you.
To keep it efficacious.
Sammy, let me read
Randy, Randy, it must be shammy because you see, TB. If somebody has TB and the person is taking medication and you stop and break giving the person the medication, the person then develops a resistance to the medication and has to move to a class 2 or class 3, which our government doesn't even import, so which is more expensive.
That's why I said, let me read this to you.
Charlie, this country.
The Ministry of Health has refuted claims that the locked up containers from the Global Fund at the Temaport contain essential drugs for tuberculosis and HIV/AIDS. This comes in response to concerns raised by health-focused civil society organizations regarding threats by the Global Fund to halt funding and donations to Ghana if the containers are not cleared from the ports. Despite assertions from the CSOs that the drugs are decaying at the ports, the Health Ministry's Public Relations Officer, Isaac Ofeba, maintains that the containers actually hold mosquito nets and not TB drugs. Quote, I want to put it on record that we have mosquito nets and we don't have anything like HIV drugs or TB drugs locked up at the ports. Once it is something that has been given to the people of Ghana, we are working towards making it out and putting it to good use. So for clarity's sake, we don't have any HIV or TB drugs locked up at the port that we have not cleared. All those ones we cleared somewhere last April.
Manche, the PRO is lying. I said the PRO of the Health Ministry is lying. And the Minister of Health is sitting here. He can't repeat this lie. I am challenging Dr. Okoe. I am challenging him to look into the cameras and tell the Ghanaian people that there is no TB drugs in the containers there. This lie cannot wash. Randy, let me tell you something. There is a coordinating committee that is made up of people from Ghana Health Service and Ministry of Health that determine what medication the Global Fund should send to us. It's not that the Global Fund wakes up and decides that we want to send this to Ghana. No. Ghana determines what should be sent to us. So his ministry, the people from his ministry and the country coordinating mechanism sat down and told the Global Fund, we want this and this and this medication. And that medication has come. But like I said, Okoe cannot deny that there is TB medication in there. In fact, Randy, I have just shared with Annie my proof and evidence that in the containers at the port, there are TB medication there. I sent it to Annie. Annie can put it on the screen. I have the bill of lading, which includes the medication. You know, the bill of lading will specify what is in the container. I have shared with Annie. She can put on the screen.
The PRS says that's what they cleared in April.
It's a lie. There's still some there. It is still there. And Randy, wait. Have the rains not started?
They have.
When the rain starts, one of the biggest challenges Ghana faces is an increase in surge in malaria for pregnant women and children under 5. So let's even assume, for the sake of this conversation, let's just assume that it is mosquito nets, treated mosquito nets in there. Who asked for the treated mosquito nets? Is it not the Ministry of Health? They asked the Global Fund for the treated nets. The treated nets are supposed to have been distributed to pregnant women and children under 5. These are part of the most vulnerable group of people. That's it on the screen. That's the bill of lading. And I'm challenging them to deny it. So you have a country where our pregnant women, one, you don't even have beds for them. To protect them, the Global Fund has taken the taxes of other people to buy this treated nets and sent them to Ghana. And Okoe, as Minister for Health, has sat aloof. And pregnant women are going to get malaria infection. Children under 5. Malaria is one of the top 2 killers in Ghana. Causes of mortality in Ghana in children under 5 and pregnant women. Malaria. And the things, even if it was just treated nets, what excuse do you have? Randy, look, we are supposed to do counterpart funding. The drugs are $45 million worth of medication. Counterpart funding is supposed to be 15% because Ghana, again, is a signatory to the Abuja Declaration. The Abuja Declaration is a declaration where member states have agreed that we will spend 15% of our national budget, 15% of our national budget on medical, on medicines or healthcare, on providing healthcare, 15% of our national budget. Now, Ghana is in arrears $33 million. Randy, the counterpart funding, they are not saying bring the money and give it to the people at Global Fund. No, they are saying that counterpart funding, Global Fund is bringing you medicines. The counterpart funding, which is 15%, which you yourself have committed to, go and buy medicines anywhere in the world. You can go to NS Chemist, you can go to Tobinco, you can go to Poku Pharma, Kina Pharma, any of the pharmacies in Ghana, or go anywhere in the world. In fact, the Global Fund has set up a platform where you can buy drugs cheaper than the regular market. It's called WAPCO or something. So you can even go there and buy the medication at a cheaper rate. You just make sure that you are spending 15% as counterpart funding, the value, to buy medicines for your own people. You are taking away our pensions, taking away our savings, destroying the economy, wrecking people's businesses with a poor currency and exchange rate. Now, even the health care of the people, you are taking away from them. How wicked and callous can the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration be? And I've always known my brother Okoe to be a very compassionate human being. I know. He's a human being. So I don't understand what it is about this Bawumia Akufo-Addo government that as soon as they put you in, you begin to lose your milk of human compassion. That you can sleep. Randy, if I was responsible.
What has Okoe done?
He's the Minister for Health. He is the Minister for Health. Randy.
2 week old.
Hey, Randy, 1 week. Is it not as Minister for Health that he went and told Ket Simeon Okreku that he is a cabinet minister, so he cannot be buying jersey on the street?
That's just yesterday.
So he is stopping the benefit of cabinet minister. He must do the work of cabinet minister. Ket has not brought me authentic Ghanaian jersey because I'm not a cabinet minister. As cabinet minister, as cabinet minister, he's paid as a cabinet minister. We will demand the job of a cabinet minister from him. Randy, look, you know what is painful? Even cutlery and pots that they will use to cook in Rebecca Akufo-Addo's brother-in-law's a hotel that they are supposed to have been building. They brought it to Parliament and took a tax exemption. Yet medication for pregnant women, treated nets for pregnant women, treated nets for children under 5, they couldn't bring it to Parliament for tax exemption. Now they claim that, okay, they've gotten the exemption, but now demurrage of 7 million. Randy, it is this same government.
7 million what?
Ghana cedis. And so for that reason, over 120 containers are stuck at the port, our own port. They should let us know if they've sold the port. The government of Ghana, for 12 months, cannot go into the port and take out medication for the people of Ghana. Don't forget, it is this same government that went lala to go and beg Ivory Coast and Nigeria and Togo Charlie Randy, if I get angry, I can urinate around Togo. Togo is the one we went to go and beg for vaccines for our children.
Do you now work at a brewery?
What is this? Can you imagine the shame Akufo-Addo Bawumia government is putting us through? That we had to go to Togo to go and beg for vaccines for our children. And now this same government, Randy, renal units, Kolebu, 4 million Ghana cedis, 19 people died.
Yes.
Then they put 2 million Ghana cedis on the front pages of the newspaper. It is the same way. We are waiting for pregnant women and children under 5 to die from malaria because of 7 million demurrage. Meanwhile, Bawumia is going dashing 500,000 to Black Stars, throwing money all over the place. Yet the government says they don't have money. What country are we living in, Randy?
Okay.
What kind of country are we living in?
Okay, I now understand. I now appreciate the mood with which you came.
It is sad. It is sad. I have pregnant women in my constituency. He is worried about sending his constituents to go and watch ball in America. I am worried about making sure that pregnant women in my constituency and children under 5 in my constituency don't die and that they are alive to watch the World Cup even if it's on TV. What kind of country are we running in? We have our principles and priorities wrong.
I feel you. I feel you. Now, Dr. Okoe, when you were a squatting minister or squatter minister, this issue came up. You were here, and then this issue came up. I think that's when you had just gone through your vetting or something. And you told us that there were some meetings that you were privy to and things were going to be sorted out. We later on were informed that the things have been cleared. Only to hear in the last 48 hours that it is indeed not so, and that parts were cleared and parts were there. For the average Ghanaian, when he hears, or not the average Ghanaian, for any Ghanaian, when he hears that we've gone cap in hand to go and beg others to help us with medication, and they have sent this medication to us, and these medications have been at the port for over a year. I mean, what does it say about us, about this government? What does it say?
Look, first of all, let me say that some years back, I would attend to issues that are very important with a lot of emotional, orientation or approach. But over the years, I have learned that what your heart can beat over, if the mind handles it, it can be solved without you having palpitations or a higher heart rate. So I'll give my brother advice.
You learned that in medical school?
Over the years, it comes with experience.
Okay.
So there are things I used to make noise about, or I would approach very emotionally. But I've come to learn that the mind can do better than the heart. So I'll beg of him. And you see, in communication too, if I had spoken first, in terms of the issues for the day, and I had not addressed this in a way that shows that I'm concerned, it was okay to go like this. But you came prepared and unleashed everything on the table, creating the impression that I've gone to sleep on the matter, when I've not even given information yet on what I have done about it.
The facts are very annoying.
Oh, I know. Of course, I'm privy to the facts. You know. But what I want to quickly say is that there was an issue he finished with at the bottom. I'll bring that up. Where he said he cares about his pregnant women, and me, I'm talking about people who try to.
But a pot shot.
Oh, of course. I mean, I brought businessmen together to buy a new ambulance at about $90,000. I did it because I've seen pregnant women struggle to even get transferred to reach. So action is more powerful. So, I mean, that's the kind of person I am. I've not lost any part of my heart in this politics. Doc, let me start by saying that the PRO's information is not accurate, and it's not to undermine his work, but it's because in dealing with this container thing, it is dynamic. So you have containers at the ports. You go to finance, they'll tell you, okay, take these cheats. These cheats will now allow you to clear 80 containers. You get there, they'll tell you there's third-party charges. And so the information I have is because the release has not gone out yet. Otherwise, I have the draft here. I left the office yesterday at about 11, just to make sure that all the information and draft is ready to go out this morning. It's not too appropriate, but I'll send you the draft. It has all the information. So apparently on the 10th of June, Finance sent the ministry 7.4 million Ghana cedis.
3 days ago.
Yes. Transferred money, which was meant to handle the third-party charges, which even if they've given the exemption, must be paid. And so when I called them 2 days ago, what they told me was that, Doc, although the money has come, government has a give me system that used to pay for such things. You can't go and say take the money. And that when they called, they are told give me is down and that by the end of this week. That's why the gentleman mentioned that the TB container is cleared. In fact, the draft that will come out, the containers that contain medicines are 3. 2 anti-malaria, ACT, that's a artemisinin combination for malaria, 2 containers. 1 is the TB. And guess what? This 7.4 million is meant to clear those ones. So although the money has been given to us, it's not gone through for it to come out of the port. So if George says that they are at the port, it is true. And if the gentleman says that there's no TB at the TB container, his anticipation, this payment thing has not gone through yet. But Doc, I'll say 2 things, 2 very important things. We, as a ministry, I insist, we are better than what we have experienced with these containers.
I don't understand what you're saying.
The Ministry of Health, in terms of the personnel there, and the potential the ministry have for Ghana, Ghana's Ministry of Health, is way better in terms of capacity than what it has witnessed over the past 1 year with these containers. What I mean is that we could have done better.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Yes. Now, I'm not someone who plays around with my work. So straight away, I've told in fact, when I was not even there, I called some of them and told them this joke that is happening, you guys should wake up. I was not happy with what is happening. You know what I mean? 2 things accounted for what was experienced. Of course, if leadership was perfect, this shouldn't have happened. I choose my words well. So I myself personally have a serious problem with what we've seen. There was inefficiency. There's a unit that handles our external partners when it comes to things that they are bringing to this country and all that. I do admit that this exemption bill put some layer of some previously that layer was not there. Things that used to pass through freely now had to be paid for. But it's not too much of an excuse. Even if the layer is there, like George was saying, there are motions you can trigger to make sure that these things come. So the unit that was handling our relationship with our partners, Global Fund, Gavi and all that, immediately arrived. Within 48 hours, the key person there is gone. Without delay, I told the chief director, this guy has no business here. So he's gone. If you check with the ministry, the one who is the obodo there is gone. For the past 7 years, that's the gentleman that was in charge of the place. I told him this cannot be tolerated. And then secondly, the other issue. So 2 issues accounted for what has happened. No. The relationship between the finance ministry and the Ministry of Health could be way better. You know what I mean? That's the way I work. Everywhere I go, I'm frank. I tell all my people, these are your challenges. If you don't admit them, you can't go anywhere. No. The truth is that because sometimes there are third-party charges that must come in, which are not necessarily budgeted for in our line. Sometimes they come up even in the process. The best way to get solution quickly is to have a very harmless, seamless relationship with the finance minister. And when I was in Geneva a few weeks ago, the Global Fund head, Mark, he told me, Doc, your country is one of the poster countries when it comes to health indicators. In all the indicators and primary health systems, we use you as an example for others. They just cannot understand how Ghana, who they always put out there as an example, has gone through what we've gone through. And even cited Nigeria and said he was with the Nigerian Minister of Health. He virtually handles these there. If any issue comes up online with IT such that he resolves issues within 72 hours. And I confided in him that before I even came to Geneva, some of the people handling these matters, we've tried to quickly relocate them. And he told me that, look, even their team in Ghana, the relationship between their team and our team has not been smooth. And I told him I've been at the ministry before, so luckily I have an idea. That's why I made changes before even coming to Geneva. And this was my assurance to him, that there's absolutely no way I would sit in this country and let this container stay in the port beyond June. This month they must come out. And why did I say beyond June? If I had my own way this morning or 3 days ago, I arrived in town Saturday. Doc. No, in fact, Friday late evening. Because from Geneva, just this Friday late evening. Monday, I told my team to get ready. Tuesday, we are going to finance ministry. I spent 2 hours at the finance ministry with the chief director, Madam Eva Mens. You know what I told my team? That's how I work. Ideally, you think I'll be sitting with Amin. I have an idea of those who handle departments and make things move. Amin is at the top. Whatever you tell Amin, he will sit with her chief director to move things. And they were shocked that I'm going to say, they said, why won't you meet the minister? I said, these are the people who get you results in days or hours. And when Eva said, look, Doc, who are your people dealing with? The name they mentioned, fine, the fellow is appropriate. But there's a higher officer who, according to Eva, should do these things in hours. I told them, this is how you do the work. I went with them. We spent time with Eva. Yesterday was Wednesday. I met with the Global Fund team. They didn't go back on many issues. I told them, I know most of the issues. It's not like we are perfect. We have serious issues in-house. And we talked about how to quickly bring people with the capacity, build capacity of those are people there. And in fact, one of the things the gentleman in Geneva said he was sad about is that there's even the communication between them and us is not frequent or regular. Look, you know what I mean? So this a unit or ministry that had issues, and I have moved to solve the issues appropriately. I would have driven my car, arrived Friday night, Saturday to port. If it's about muzzle or it's about fiscal strength, but this is a country where even if you mean well now, if they tell you it takes 1 day for give me to work, I have to wait for that 24 hours for the containers to come out. So my brother should be assured I'm not a callous. One thing I would never let go. In fact, that's what got me to politics, Doc. What got me to politics is protecting the vulnerable. And anywhere I've worked, if you ask, I make sure that those who don't have a voice, they are giving that particular backing and support. So please, it is unconscionable that drugs meant for our people will stay at the port for a year. We could have done way better than that. But I want to assure him that I don't take excuses. I was with Eva Mens 2 days ago. Monday, God willing, I'll go and check with her. If we have about 2 weeks to the end of the month, if in a week or two, any of these containers are left there, I will go to the port and stop at the container and tell them that if they don't take it out, then I'm with them at the port. So please, as for me, that's the way I do my work. I'm not the kind who can be, stymied or giving excuses of bureaucracy. I've given myself and the state 2 weeks. If in 2 weeks it doesn't come, the GIA woman cannot have peace in the office. In fact, she cannot sit in that office. Amin and Eva cannot sit in the office. That's the way I work, bro. And to hell with whatever anybody thinks. If those containers don't come out by 2 weeks' time, job at home airport. You know, so, and look, you'll be shocked. But this country is a system. It's not like it's the politician who is sensitive. Maybe because we've not been perfect, maybe there's some level. You will meet public officers, civil servants who are in this chain. Talking about this things and what? Okay, take your time and give you a excuse. That's why I said, I told the Global Fund guy that within this month, these containers will come out of the port. And if the month is about to end and they are there, you will not meet me in my office. I'll be sitting at the port until they come out. They are giving excuses of bureaucracy and all that money. We are doing what we can to get it out. And I don't want to sound like what's the word? Like a communist or like a Mokoniya Basabasa.
No, you're pointing at me as a communist?
No, it's just my hands, you know.
Gesticulation gone wrong.
Exactly. This one series of brother is crude, like a Basabasa. So that's why I'm going through the motions. But Doc, it's annoying. That's the word. These things being at the port.
So let me ask you something. What's the total value of all these global fund medications they sent to us? Do you have an idea?
Oh, we have the figures. The release will state that it is, but of course they are in the tens of millions of dollars.
Of dollars.
Yes.
Okay. Can I help with that? I hear that this particular consignment is 45 million, but since 2002, when the global fund started, we've done 1.2 billion.
Oh no,
I'm even referring.
But this particular one, 45 million.
Not this one. The ones that were cleared. You know,
they cleared some 18.
April.
Yes, in 18.
So
in
that
April.
plus this, what will be the value?
Oh, the ones that have come out. Oh, no, Doc, I think even, forgive me, but trying to find a value, what has come out.
Do you know why I'm asking that question? I want to juxtapose that against the value of medications that the Ministry of Health and its agencies have procured.
Yes.
For this year alone.
No, I get you. But you see, Doc, like I said,
look, this is the same ministry that went to give money under COVID.
Yeah.
This is the same ministry. I'm told that within WHO that we have money with them.
Yes.
And
the vaccines.
Yeah, there's some monies. The monies are there, and we don't even have the vaccines. It appears that we have not been even chasing them and all that. And then we are the same country that went begging for these medications. And the medications come, and for the year, I mean, Edwige says I should ask you about the efficacy of the medications because of the period that they've been at the port and all that. I mean, Okoe, it is probably only in Ghana that this will happen.
Yes.
And people will still have a job.
But someone even suggested that those who were heading that unit deserve even more than relocation in terms of what should happen to them.
I will even go beyond there. Because these are issues that even go beyond. Yes, a unit has maybe some operational responsibilities, but this issue of Gavi, and I'm saying that these are issues that have come into the public domain. I don't work at the ministry, yet I have been apprised with all the issues around this. So what about those who work there, superintend over the place and all that? I don't want to pitch you against predecessors and all that. But obviously, this is